There are these massive, invisible rivers flowing all around us, not of water, but of, well, trash. There is a gigantic river of waste, we're talking millions of tons, flowing from Canada into the United States every year. And when politicians decided to threaten that flow, it kicked off a geopolitical crisis that, believe it or not, is sparking a serious high-tech revolution.
Okay, let's just start with this number, because it's a big one. 3.44 million tons. That is the insane amount of waste that the province of Ontario alone ships to the U.S. every single year. That's about 27% of all their garbage. So this isn't just a couple of trucks crossing the border. It is a full-blown economic dependency.
So you might be asking, why does all that trash head south? Well, this chart says it all. It's just basic economics. It costs a mere 36 cents a ton to dump trash in Michigan. Meanwhile, back in Ontario, you're looking at over $150. With a price difference that massive, it's no wonder Michigan basically became a trash magnet for its Canadian neighbor.
So here's how we're going to break this all down. We're going to start with a big picture problem, then zoom right into the messy policies it created. After that, we'll focus on a really cool tech solution called the Digital Refinery, and then we'll pull back out to see what this could mean for the future of waste.
Now, this whole situation isn't just about saving a few bucks. For Ontario, it has become a genuine crisis. The province is running out of room for its own garbage. Seriously. If that U.S. border suddenly closed to their waste, their own landfills could be completely full as early as 2029. The clock is absolutely ticking.
So yeah, no surprise here, this one-way river of trash created a huge political problem. Michigan started pushing back hard, saying, hey, we don't want to be your dumping ground. And that sent Ontario scrambling, sparking this crazy cross-border legislative battle.
And this is where you get two governments on a total collision course. On one side, you have Michigan's Governor Whitmer trying to build a financial wall, proposing a whopping 1,200% fee hike. And on the other, you have Ontario's Premier Ford ramming through something called Bill 5, which was basically a way to steamroll local objections and fast-track new landfills.
And people were not happy. This quote from Shane Moffat at Ontario Nature really captures the firestorm around Bill 5. Critics saw it as this incredibly dangerous move to just bypass all of the normal environmental checks and balances, especially for controversial projects like a brand new landfill proposed for the town of Dresden.
And wow, this timeline shows you just how fast everything went down. Look at this, a company buys land. Then the government introduces a bill that just so happens to help that exact kind of project. An investigation gets called for and then denied, and then boom, the bill becomes law. The whole thing happened in a matter of a month. The pressure was on.
So, with the border about to close and new landfills caught up in controversy, a third option started to appear. It was a tech solution that wasn't about finding a new place to bury trash, but about completely rethinking what waste even is.
And this is the absolute core of the idea. The old way, you treat construction debris as a liability. It's a messy, contaminated problem that you literally pay someone to bury. The new way, which is being pioneered by a company called 905 Wood, sees that same pile of junk as a potential asset, something that can be digitally refined into a clean, valuable material for green industries.
So how does this digital refinery actually pull this off? It's not about bigger machines or more people sorting. It's all about data. The brains behind the whole operation is a team of specialized AI agents running on something called the Pixel 10 Pro Lite RT AI stack.
All right, first up on the AI team, Gemini. You can think of Gemini as the eyes of the operation. It's the first sensor visually scanning the wood waste right at the source to see how good it is. But here's the cool part, it's multimodal. It can even use things like ambient sound, say a worker yelling about demolition, to automatically flag a load as potentially contaminated. Next in the stack is GPT, and its job is to be the plumber. This is the back-end system that connects all the digital pipes together. It takes data from the GPS trackers on the trucks, the digital scales at the facility, even government websites, and weaves it all into a single, unchangeable record for every single piece of material.
And finally, you've got Claude, who plays the role of the lawyer. This is the AI that handles compliance. And what makes it so powerful is its insane 1 million token context window. That means it can hold entire legal texts, the whole law, in its active memory. So it doesn't just look up a rule, it knows the entire rule book, inside and out.
Now, the goal of this AI Dream Team isn't just to sort wood, it's to generate something way more valuable, documentation that is completely audit-proof. The whole system is designed to create a data trail so perfect that it can stand up to any regulator.
They call this explainable compliance. And everything, the whole system, is anchored to this one critical piece of legislation, Ontario Regulation 347. This is basically the Bible of waste management in the province. It defines exactly, down to the milligram, what makes something hazardous, setting very specific limits for chemicals.
And here is a perfect example of that explainable compliance in action. When the system's sensors find a problem, it doesn't just say, nope. It spits out a full-on legal citation. It tells you exactly why the load was rejected, naming the chemical, the level it found, the legal limit, and even the exact schedule in the regulation it violates. It's not a black box, it's an open book.
So what's the final output of this whole high-tech process? It's what you could call a golden ticket, an official USMCA certificate of origin. That's the document you need for trade between the US, Mexico, and Canada. And because the AI has proven this wood is now a refined product and not just waste, it can cross the border no problem as a valuable commodity.
Okay, so let's zoom back out. What does all this mean? Why does it matter that we can pour this much AI and technology into a pile of dirty 2x4s?
It matters because this system completely flips the entire economic model of waste on its head. A liability becomes an asset. Wood waste becomes a verifiable, high-quality feedstock. The fees you'd pay to dump it can become revenue from carbon credits. A massive legal headache becomes a tradable financial product. It changes everything.
And this isn't just some cool, nice-to-have innovation. This is about survival. With new laws coming down the pipe, like a potential ban on landfilling clean wood by 2029, being able to digitally prove your material is clean won't be optional. It's going to be a mandatory requirement to even stay in business.
And that kind of leaves us with this one big final question. We've seen the AI, the sensors, the legal framework. It's a blueprint. And once you have that blueprint to see and verify the value in one kind of waste, like wood, it makes you wonder what other trash that's piling up all around us is actually a treasure just waiting for the right digital refinery to unlock it.